Hey, everybody. My name is Chris Meek, and this is my first broadcast. I hope you are all doing well today. I'm coming to you from North Carolina, a state that has shut down all of its schools, forcing parents to make do with their children and their teachers to sit and wonder, what the hell are we doing? Um, I thought I'd take a few minutes to chat with you about the situation that is happening here in North Carolina, across the country, for that fact, make up these days, and differents are approaching it different ways. First, let me say, calm down. It's okay. We are going to get through this. Um, no, we have not had anything like this before, but the many tragedies we've had, hurricanes, tornadoes, uh, earthquakes, whatever part of the country you're in, whatever part of those, don't worry, things will get better. I promise you that. Um, but what to do now? There are many educators in the state of North Carolina who are perplexed on what their work situation is. If you work in a county like I do, where all of our children from third grade to 12th grade have school issued laptops, and we run a premium software such as Office 365, we're able to remotely teach our classes. Not much different than the way some colleges do with online learning. It's a great tool to have. I recommend that all districts employ it if they can. But there are some districts where teachers are told they have to come in, prepare lessons and packets, and send them out with students. It's kind of difficult when you have a limited amount of copies to use, and you've probably used up half of your yearly allotment or more by this time. Other teachers are being told stay home, and they don't know if they're going to get paid or not. And this is a big issue. And what do you do when this issue arises? Well, first, contact your state legislatures. Let them know that they have a responsibility now of taking care of the people of the state. It's not a Democrat thing. It's not a Republican thing. It's not I don't meet us somewhere in the middle, because we know it's coming from the bottom up. I see it all the time. I see it. People helping others in the stores. I see, allowing teachers to bring their children in, so they don't have to worry about daycare. Not all districts are doing that, and that's a shame. That's a real shame, and I have a major issue with that. How can you expect your employees to take care of their students when you can't take care of your employees, especially your teachers? So that's all I have to say about that. Or as Forrest Gump likes to say, that's all I have to say about that. Teachers, this is really directly. The one thing our communities have in common is their public schools. Oftentimes, when our students come into our classrooms, we are the only stable environment in their lives. You know this, you know those children, you can identify them. I'm sure as when I'm saying this, you are thinking of 1 or 2, 5, 10 kids who you have every day who are in that situation. We can't know that your email is available. They need our stability. Our community needs our stability. We are all in this together. And though we usually don't come from the governmental levels, they have their things they do. Businesses have their things that they do. But it's usually educators who rise to the occasions to lead the effort to help when help is needed, to be that rock of the community. Now, I'm not talking about how that religious organizations aren't or other organizations aren't, but the one thing that every community in the United States has is a public education system, and it has dedicated public educators. And I'm not just talking about teachers. I'm talking about teaching assistants. I'm talking about bus drivers. I'm talking about cafeteria workers. I'm talking about custodians, people who work with kids every single day in some capacity. They interact with them. They're known. Those are the people who step up and are willing to give of themselves, because that's what we do. We give of ourselves. Shoot, I'm making my first ever video here out of duress than anything else, because I hear my colleagues on Facebook and I hear my colleagues in the hall. If you were here during Hurricane Florence last year, you got a little bit of a taste of what we're going to be going through now. But while they didn't have basic services like water, food, electricity, they did have health. And we can't say that right now. This is a health situation where, people die. I hope nobody in North Carolina, I hope nobody else dies. I hope they can contain this and get everybody better. But, I know that's wishful thinking. I know more people will die, and I know more people will get sick. And I know that for educators, for people who are in a service industry, I shouldn't even say service industry, a service profession, because we are a service profession. We are public servants in every sense of the word. Not being able to help our students, not being able to educate our students, not being able to interact with our students. It's tough, I know, and I know it's tough on you. So here's my piece of advice. Number one, take care of yourself. Take care of your families. Because if you have to worry about them, you can't give it your all to your students. Number two, practice social distancing. I love these terms that they come up with. It's another way of saying stay away from each other. That doesn't mean don't speak to each other. Doesn't mean to don't maintain social contact. This means that, until we know exactly how this virus is spread and who is most affected and have a way of containing it, it's rather be safe than sorry. And let your students know that you're there. Let them know that you care. I know, I'm able to communicate with my students via Microsoft Office Teams, which is a online classroom suite, but not everybody has that. But there is Google Classroom. Companies like Spectrum are offering to get students who do not have access to the internet services. I'm sure there are companies out there donating older laptops, computers that students can use to get online. This is a situation that the world hasn't faced in over 100 years. And now it's time for us to show what leaders that we are as educators. Because we are the community, the leaders of the community, whether we want to admit it or not. We are the ones that people look to for stability. We are the ones that the community fights over. Fights over which teachers are good, which teachers could be better, which teachers deserve to be in the classrooms, which teachers or that teachers should be paid better, or are the schools safe enough for our kids? These are major issues that are happening in our communities every day, and they're talked about every day, much more so than presidential primaries or who's sitting in the White House. The conversation that is most had in our communities are about our children. Let's take care of our children. Let's take care of ourselves. Let's take care of our community, because that's what educators do. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. My name is Chris Meek, M-E-E-K. 1965@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer any emails. This is my first ever YouTube video live chat. Oh, it's live chat. Oh, hopefully I'm doing okay. And make the best of what you got and smile. The world needs to see more smiles.